Rainbow has been going strong for a whole year of additional content with its new maps, operators, weapons, and gadgets. With Siege crossing its annual release this month, I wanted to make a video that was long due in the making, to finally confess that Rainbow Six Siege is one of my favorite games Ubisoft has ever made.
Stay alert and silent.
Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege 100 hours later.
Kids hate my attitude, money talk, you're not in front of me. Obligations push with the enemies, session now, just one take. It ain't my fault to elevate the hate. Comrades, so loyal, in fear, pure soil, slip and style like baby oil. Bring it back like drugs on the Cadillac, swift like a ninja, time to attack. Time to attack, time to attack. Please fall back, watch the paper stack. I got a hot ink, baby, gat. Kinda making big guns look real whack. Time to attack.
It started back in September of last year. Myself and a few friends from GI were granted access to the Rainbow Six Siege beta. To be honest, before this, I almost forgot the game even existed, and even worse, I had no clue it was coming out at the end of the year. With its limited amount of content, downgraded graphics compared to its E3 presentation in good Ubisoft fashion, and a lack of single player, many of the friends I played with dismissed this game after playing the beta, believing it would be dead on arrival. Even I had my own concerns about the game, but deep down inside, I kinda liked a lot of the design of the game. I thought it was clever how Rainbow created hero-styled operators, and its usage of tactical destruction was exhilarating and gave me a power fantasy of being a part of an elite SWAT team in the old Breach and Clear movies.
Changing mags!
2 months later and the game released. I was the only one out of my friends who played the beta who picked up the game day one, and if you play Siege, you already know the nightmare that awaited for me. While I actually did pretty good playing solo and I was able to hold up on my own, I always felt there was something missing. And that thing was friends. So I tried my best to convince my friends to get Siege and to play it with me, and initially none of them were convinced of picking it up. I tried telling them about all the additional content they put in the game and how much it improved, but it fell upon deaf ears, and honestly, could I blame them? This was a Ubisoft multiplayer only title. They were more in their right not to believe anything I was telling them about the game, that it seemed to have done everything to set itself up to fail. On top of this, the barely decent review scores given out to Siege by many critics for its lack of a single player campaign and changes from previous entries set Rainbow Six Siege on the path of self-destruction similar to that of Evolve. So even at its lowest point, how the hell, against all odds and a deck stacked against it, did it go from a game seemingly dead on arrival to a game thriving on a strong player base right now? I'll tell you, it was word of mouth. Siege is perhaps one of the few games I've seen this day and age that has survived purely off of gamer word of mouth. As I did with my friends in GI and many others who bought the game, we shared with others our experiences with the game and how much we really loved it. And due to the team-oriented gameplay, that in itself incentivized players to go out and get their friends. I was able to slowly convince my friends to pick up the game one person at a time after getting them to play the game during a free weekend, even at some points dragging them to get the game. I even went as far to gift the game to one of my friends, Anon, who has to this day been my brother in arms for this game.
There.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a bitch.
Oh.
And at long last, around the holiday, man, I had the squad. A team blessed by Zeus himself to make some of the most insane plays ever seen in the game. TBH, Black, JG, Anon, Moshi, Chaos, and myself, and yes, even Ace. All together, we were unstoppable as we decimated every single team in our path.
Bitch,
Doing
Jimmy.
that.
Be careful. God damn, Ethos. God damn, Ethos. There you go. R.I.P. Okay, well. Time to go out looking.
Is what I would say if I was talking about us playing Black Ops 3, but this was a tactical shooter, and thanks to us playing casual shooters weeks before, we got our asses kicked.
Who's the loser now?
That's where they're breaching for.
A lot. Keyboards were thrown, insults were said, and shade was thrown.
That's Ethos. That nigga stay getting mad. And you probably wondering how we got here.
YouTube videos uploaded. This is the aftermath of
It got so bad that when clout had to be maintained, the GI had a civil war. It wasn't pretty and many didn't survive.
He's to the right. He's to the right. He's to the right. He ran back. I saw him running.
Hold on, let me go first, bro. Okay, I'm up.
Wait.
Ethos, I need you to hurry up and
You can plant right here.
Oh, good shit. Hey, yeah, go ahead and run to the bomb, Rose. Run to the bomb. Hey.
Oh, behind you, bro, to the left.
It's too close. Oh my god.
But I didn't have to go easy on you. I want you to remember that. I wanted to remind you to stay out of my way. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
But if there was one thing I learned from that whole experience, it was this. If you ever have both Moshi and Ace on your team, just leave the game and turn off your computer. You'll be better off, trust me.
Throw it in the air, throw it in the
Well, you know, he's just trying to win your heart. You know, you single out here in the streets, so you know. And you tweeted out you just want to cuddle, so you know she's taking that boyfriend application.
I don't want to get in front, bro.
You felt so many times. Yo, this this nigga missed the wall like 4 times, and then the way he fell over. Oh.
Ace, what the fuck?
Ace, what the fuck?
We won. I got him to kill a hostage.
You'll be better off. Months passed after the Civil War and all seemed lost, but as they say, the enemy of my enemy is a friend, and that enemy turned out to be the mysterious Team Green. A team that, till this day, we may never know the true identity of. Its mysterious and sly leader, Abel Green, went up against a weakened GI still disoriented from their Civil War. Even with the backpack powers of Shake and Bake, it wasn't enough.
And Gaming Ethos has been taken out by Syntax 187. They got Mr. Motion. Gaming Ethos comes through, and it looks like Gaming Ethos will be taking out Big Fry. Gaming Ethos has taken out 2 people, and Mr. Abel Green is down. TBH and the rest of the Gaming Illuminati are currently up right now. This is their time. If they're gonna do it, they need to do it now. And it looks like they're attacking. UTXJG the Don takes out Brian, and it looks like the Real Visions is by himself. And it looks like the attackers won. Gaming Ethos takes out the Real Visions. Gaming Ethos has been killing it with 11 kills right now. And it looks like the Gaming Illuminati and Team Green are tied up in round 6. They are not losing anything. And uh-oh, what is going to happen? Anon is out. Anon is out, and looks like Team Green wins. So that means Team Green wins it all. Team Green wins 2-1. Gaming Illuminati falls to Team Green.
It was a massacre. GI had fallen. That day of defeat taught me a lot. It taught me about deception and betrayal, but most of all, it taught me that even heroes can fall. After a devastating loss to the hands of the mysterious Team Green, I left Siege to wander the desert gamescape alone, my hand-eye coordination shock, my hands shaky like Dr. Strange's. Shake and Bake was dead. Months had passed in the world of Siege, and I had returned to try to play the second DLC that had just released, but the ghost that had haunted my past still cursed upon my hands. My aim was weak and my reaction time pathetic. Accepting that I could no longer be the man I once was, I told Anon that I was going to retire. I handed him my season pass and I walked away. Now that would be the end of the story, but my journey never ended, it was only delayed. I still had amassed around 58 hours of in-game playtime, and while I didn't believe him at the time, Anon kept telling me one day my curse would be lifted, and I would return. Months later, I returned to Rainbow Six Siege once again after the release of the Brazilian Operators. Their new abilities and gadgets, along with the balancing patches the developers had been working on for the game, made the game feel more balanced and exciting than ever before. I returned to Siege as the prodigal son, regaining something I lost months ago. Brothers in Arms. 100 hours later, and the whole first season of Siege's free DLC content is now in the game's ecosystem. I have returned to new faces and some old faces, new experiences and some very familiar ones. But through all that, one thing has always remained the same: the stakes. I've played a lot of fun shooters this year, but none of them have motivated me and frustrated me more than Rainbow Six Siege. From launch, I've been through it all, from the hacking epidemic that plagued the game early on to the bullshit netcode. I survived the worst Siege had to offer to see it transform into this visceral, tactical first-person shooter that may go down as one of my favorite shooters of all time.
Op 4 has the hostage.
Siege is a game that understood one fundamental design choice which has allowed it to prosper for so long: its complexity within the depth of its gameplay. While many other modern shooters focus in on a singular person having quantity, like a huge array of weapons or tons of maps to play on, Siege takes a step back from this idea of inflating a game with content and instead focuses on giving a player a meta of tools to complete a puzzle. But they have to complete a puzzle that is constantly changing as they're trying to solve it. Since this game is so heavily multiplayer focused and has so many variables and balanced considerations, it actually takes quite a long time to figure out whether you like it or not as your go-to multiplayer experience. The game also uses asymmetrical design. In other words, the two teams are not matched in terms of abilities. This adds even more complexity to an already dense multiplayer environment. Most first-person shooters can be described with a simple Excel sheet, labeling main features of a multiplayer experience and then simply listing each piece of that content for that feature right below it. The depth most of the time from a basic understanding ends there. Yes, there may be stuff like gun damage and ammo and perks here and there, but they're just some basic mechanics that work of their own design and don't really interact with many other features of the said game. To think how Rainbow Six Siege works, on the other hand, well, let's just say one type of chart won't cover it. Rainbow uses multiple charts, each stylized differently for each of its gameplay mechanics, which creates an unprecedented amount of depth that was thought to have been dead in first-person shooters. If you will, allow me to visualize it. Rainbow pits two teams of 5 members against one another. One attacks and the other defends. With this simple setup, each player picks their own operator, each of them with their own stats when it comes to armor and speed, already creating an asymmetrical base design. But there's a twist with these operators. Not only do each of them have their own different weapons and stats, but they also come with their own unique skill, which can be in the form of a weapon, ability, or gadget. They stand out from all the other basic gadgets in the game like drones and grenades due to their own special usages. For example, while most attackers can use breach charges to bust down doors, Ash's breach charge allows her to do the same action but at a safe distance, preventing her from being killed trying to get close to the breach point. Another example is Twitch's drone. While everyone gets a drone, Twitch's drone is special with a taser that not only can hurt enemies but can also disable gadgets set up by the defenders. See what I'm getting at now? These abilities themselves are in another type of graphic, where certain operators have certain abilities that can synergize with allies and nullify the abilities of the enemy. Getting even deeper into it, the operator Castle has the ability to reinforce those walls and doors with a special material that prevents an enemy from just meleeing it down. Because of this, it will require the enemy to use one of their precious tools, such as the breaching charge or Ash's special ability, in order to get through. But oh, what do we have here? The enemy can use Mute, another operator on defense that has the ability to set mute signals near the door. Because of this, it will require the enemy to use one of their precious tools, such as the breaching charge, in order to get through. These radio signals prevent remote detonation of any device near the signal, as you can see, a sort of rock, paper, scissors chart. But it goes even further. The offense team can counter this if they bring along a Thatcher who comes with an EMP grenade, which will destroy any electronic near the grenade. What we have just done is entered even further into the complexity and depth of Rainbow, and this is just one small example of many of the different charts that can happen with each of the operators. Now, we haven't even touched the concepts of intel gathering, stealth, and tactical destruction, and it's because of these strong core features of the gameplay that allows Rainbow to have near unlimited replayability on the same maps or modes for months and months. Many of these devices and abilities would not be all that much fun if the playground itself didn't allow for it. So Siege has a micro-destruction system similar to that of DICE's destruction found in its Battlefield games. The maps have been designed from the ground up with tactical destruction in mind. You can blow holes into walls, kill people through those man-made holes, or if you're lucky, you can even destroy the floor right below them or the ceiling above them for a surprise attack. This system of destruction once again interacts with the operator's different abilities and gadgets, which I previously mentioned. In most other FPS games, you're playing in a set environment moving from the same location time and time again with similar loadouts. While there may be some depth in the loadouts each player has, they are still limited by the static design of the map, forcing them only to have a limited amount of strategies to pick from and execute with a very small room for error. That, for the most part, doesn't happen in Siege. Not only are Siege's spawns and locations changed every round, but with the extensive amount of tools and options to reach the set objective, you get something more in the vein of a thought process like Dishonored or Deus Ex.
Sneaky bitches over there, and they're what's it called, Capcan just dropped.
I can't mark. This is psychological warfare. We gotta go in. Okay, you see where I am, A9? He's directly in front of me, like one floor below. Hey, try to do that.
I killed him.
I was gonna get him. I was gonna get him.
Loading.
Ayúdame. Good shit, good shit, good shit, good shit.
Keep me amigo.
Yep, don't be ridiculous.
Vámonos.
I'm gonna go through the garage. Diffuser, good shit, my nigga, good shit. That's what I like to fucking see.
Where you're given one objective but the freedom to choose how you wish to tackle it. However, this time around, you have to do it with teammates. Engagements happen dynamically and create a sense of paranoia for the attackers as they try to guess where the defenders are hiding, while the defenders are also trying to guess where the attackers are going to hit them from. Choices as simple as choosing which entrance you choose to attack from, to deciding which operator is best to take point or watch your six. Players who wish to be really good at Siege need to understand how to balance multiple strategies simultaneously while on the fly, while also keeping their finger on the trigger. While having a good trigger finger is a good trait to have, it will be wasted if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
10-4.
Yeah, they jumped in.
Oh, Blackbeard! Oh, I'm down. Not dead, but down. Blackbeard is in the window. He's about to pull up. He pulled up. Get him. Good shit, Ethos. Good shit.
That, my friends, leads us even deeper into the psychological design of Siege. Intel. I could argue in some sense that Rainbow Six Siege is not a dominant shooting game, but it's really more of a hidden strategy game. And it's intel that separates someone who can just simply pull the trigger to someone who's an actual good team player. This is one of the most underrated aspects I feel of Siege that barely anyone brings up, but it's one of my favorite things about this game. Intel is an invaluable resource for your team because knowing the position of your enemy can be the difference between life and death. Obtaining intel for your team while also blocking the intel of your enemies can decide a match before bullets even start to fly. Included inside of the design of intel comes great sound design, and gathering intel doesn't always involve using only your eyes through cameras and drones, but can also just rely on operators using their ears, listening for footsteps so that you can just get that 1 second drop on the enemy. Siege promotes using multiple senses in order to improve your efficiency on your team, and even in death, you can still find ways of contributing to your team through that exact same intel loop.
But somebody's peeking in the window.
We're in the kitchen. Pull up on me, Ethos. Pull up. Good shit.
The last two in the kitchen, you said?
Oh my god. I was like, 2 in the kitchen where I was Rainbow and...
I've gone through a lot of incredible experiences playing Rainbow Six Siege, and I've learned a lot, not only about myself as a tactician, but those I play with as well. 100 hours later, and I'm more excited than ever for its new season of content. 100 hours later, I'm still aiming to get better and better at this game. 100 hours later, and I wouldn't take a single second of it back. そう